Hello and welcome and happy Earth Day to you and you and you. What's up, everybody? It's We Grow Wednesday. This is April 22nd today, 2026, 103 now, 103 Central Time. We are going to play a little intro to get this party started. Got all kinds of stuff to do for you today and to learn something and find out something that's going on in this big old rock that's just floating through the space that we're just sitting on. So we're going to talk about it here in just a few minutes. Let's play this intro here, and we'll be right back. Let's grow.
Scrolling through the noise, stories hitting hard, cutting through the void. Big Ugg pulling strings, poison in the feed. Well, they're selling us ain't what we need. Posting articles, lighting up the screen, common struggle shared, know what I mean. Time to wake 'em now, see the hidden game. We grow Wednesday, hey, stop and look around. We grow Wednesday, plant it in the ground. Grow our own, break the chains, rise up strong. Knowledge in our veins where we belong. We grow, yeah, we grow. Every soul gotta eat, fuel the fire inside. But the cause of twisting truth, trying to hide. Processed lies on shelves, stealing our health away. New tech coming fast, showing us a better way. Community talking, sharing what we find. Self-sustainable minds, leaving change behind. Digging in the dirt or digging for the truth. We grow Wednesday, hey, stop and look around. We grow Wednesday, plant it in the ground. Grow our own, break the chains, rise up strong. Knowledge in our veins where we belong. We grow, yeah, we grow. No more blind, no more fed their lies. Hands in the soil, fire in our eyes. From seed to strength, we're taking control. Empower the body, empower the soul. Wednesday rolls again, gather round the feet. Health and wellness news, planting every seed. Growing food ourselves, growing who we are. Better versions rise, shooting for the stars. Big Food's empire cracks. We won't bound time. We grow Wednesday. Hey, stop it on Wednesday. We grow Wednesday. Hey, stop and look around. We grow Wednesday.
All right. Hello, everybody. Let me make sure. So weird. Like I can tell when they're doing things or messing. Like Facebook's been changing things around. Everything's just moving around. Like okay, they're doing something somewhere behind the scenes. Who knows? But hopefully, it's all for the better. I see that Rumble. I follow the owner of Rumble, Chris Pavlovsky, on X, and he's always talking about all this new stuff coming out. Oh, so and so is buying into Rumble Wallet and blah blah blah. Or like now we have a call-in feature. I have this whole section for callers and to like organize the callers. And like, okay, fine, but like, can we fix some of the other things first? Just like on X, just like on Facebook, like every one of them do the same thing. Like they want to
If
just
it ain't broke, we'll make sure it is.
like, well, that's broke, but it's like, well, yeah, and let's move on to the next thing. It's like, what are they squirrely? Like, what is it? Is it ADD with the design teams or what? It's kind
It
of
does seem that way.
well, and that's kind of like laws and politics. Like they don't ever want to go back and be like, let's look at what's back. Let's take that.
Maybe we should revisit the fact that there's a law against riding a donkey down Main Street where no one has
Yeah, like,
donkeys
can
anymore.
we just write that one out? Can we figure out like I don't know how they do it. Like what is it called? Not appeal, but repeal, right?
Yeah.
Repeal law. So anyway, little squirrely moment for me. But hey, what's up, everybody? It's April 22nd, 2026. It's 1:10 Central Time. It's Earth Day. Tyler reminded me that it's Earth Day. I try not to, pay too much attention to all the little holidays, but Earth Day seems a little more important, I think, than the other ones. Although it is kind of still a little holiday when it comes to like it's not national, like no one's getting the work day off, no one's getting a paid
Right.
holiday, all those kind of things, right? It's still kind of like, it's on the back burner.
It's
Well,
one that I've always celebrated, though, so it's
sure.
significant for me. Plus, it was a demarcation line for some changes that I made for myself.
I mean, we're all on it. Like, you don't have to be like, let me go hug a tree to be like, hey, yeah, look, I'm standing on Earth. Like,
Yeah.
we're in it. Um, and it's pretty significant for sure. But I thought, in honor of Earth Day, that I would look up some Earth trivia. And throughout the show, I'm just going to throw something out to the crowd, to the audience, and see if anyone has any opinions on the trivia that I might have for you. So, or any I guess guesses or answers. But yes, I guess I'm forgetting a few things. I am Waylon the Indoor Farmer, and this is Tala, First Light Warrior. I how do you? Maybe you can change the name. You should change it to First Light Warrior, or maybe I need to add Waylon, and you should have
Change
you
it where?
should be Tala, the First Light Warrior. I don't know how you would change it, but
Change it where?
somehow there's got to be a way to change the names on the screen. You would think.
Yeah, change it
Anyway,
where? You mean
you see the in the box in your box.
right
It
there?
says Tala. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm tall.
Anyway, it's neither here nor
Plus, my
there,
warrior's
but
the business name.
touche. Well, I need to somehow get my name added to it because like it matters for sometimes when we have like people in the boxes, for instance. Everybody needs to know whose name is whose, or when you have a guest on, definitely want to know
Mhm.
who's who it is. And so I'd like to know how to edit it. That's kind of a side.
I don't think you can once you're live. I think you
They
actually have to go out because
we
I type it in
should
every time.
we should be able
It's one of
to.
those things, right?
Right.
Um, in fact, my buddy Yosef today was saying, "Why can't we merge spaces?" And he was like, "Why don't we have that? We'll get there eventually." And I had to tell
Oh,
him,
that's an interesting
"You
idea.
can't. They can't."
Yeah, that's
Okay?
a lot of work.
Spaces is built on the skeleton of what's left of Periscope. They would have to start over. They can't just cram that feature in. So I told him about Rumble and doing raids, and he was like, "Oh yeah, we need that." Well, they'll have to start over if they're going to make that. Yeah.
Right. They would have to. care or like want that
Mhm.
to
And
be
they don't.
more efficient, and I don't think they care. Like it's already wildly popular. Like
They're
there's
not even fixing the bugs that we have right now. They're not going to add a feature
and they're
like that.
terrible, like terrible. Like I was away from spaces for a while, and I started getting back into a few, and I get in, I'm like, I don't see anyone else's hands but me.
Yep.
I'm
They
like
still haven't figured that out.
like I thought, oh, I thought when he the guy that was speaking, either the host or co-host, he said, um, he was like, and if in I forget how he worded it, but
When you're hosting, you can't see the hands half the time.
right. Well, but he was basically saying something that I felt was directed towards the next people who were going to be speaking, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, I'm the only hand, so is he kind of like, subliminally telling me, or I guess not subliminally, but like on the side, or I don't know how you would describe
He's
it, but
probably
like
just
not.
asking if anyone has a hand up because he can't see it.
No, but he was like, when you get up here, don't, be careful not to, uh, like, I forget how he. Anyway, it's a long story, but he went on for a minute about like stuff that would be a negative speaker. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's
And I
probably
felt
just
like
laying out guidelines. Yeah.
I know, but like on his side, he saw a bunch of hands, and on my side, I'm going, I'm the only hand up. Is he talking about me? And I kind of was just joking with. I was like half kidding because he doesn't know me, so like why would I would care. But
Yeah.
it was funny. Anyway, long story longer. Um, so let's get into the wheel. I see a lot of comments here. Let me get back to the comments. Um, Maybe I need to reword this actually. what I have what I have typed in.
It's one of those coffee necessary days today.
I
I'm
did.
so tired.
I mean, I feel a little bit absent-minded, but I think it's because I have so much going on. I had taken my dogs on a run. That was awesome. Oh, you should have seen little Sprout afterwards. Like I sat down to take my shoes off, and came up on the couch and was just dead with his tongue out. It was just so like I'm like that's a good, like that's what you want to see. Like you want to see that dog just loving how like worn out he is. Like they love that. It's great. All right,
Yeah,
back
I had
to
a double vet appointment yesterday, which this can be a topic. Here we are.
oh
Remember I mentioned about the mRNA vaccines?
okay.
So Piglet and Shadow were due for everything, and I had to say everything except that one. And unfortunately, it is the feline leukemia virus, the FELV, and that is actually very important because some of these diseases are airborne. And if you have babies like mine that have to be on medication every day, if I'm gone more than a couple of nights at most, I got to put them in a cattery, kennel for cats,
Cattery.
because they got to have their meds. But if you do that, they require the whole list of vaccines, and feline leukemia virus is on the list. It's an mRNA. I'm not doing it any more than I would put it in my own body. The vet understands. She's going to make an effort to see if she can order one box for us. But then a year from now, when it expires again, then what am I going to do? Because what they're pushing to do is get rid of the old style of vaccine entirely. Shelters like run by the county, they're going to immediately go to this new one because it's cheaper. There's the rub, it's cheaper. So they're trying to force us into mRNA tech, and I'm not having it in my house. So,
Definitely seems like they're forcing it. And we talked about last week about vaccines in the produce, and I I posted a little short of us talking about that because I mean you'll be able to overdose on food, and it's just insane.
yeah.
Okay, so we did talk about the beef you're feeding your family. You don't actually know what it is. Same. Okay, we did not talk about this. All right, guys, smash the like button, share it out with some friends. We're going to pull up some stories for this week because there's a lot going on. It is Earth Day, so I want to hear some people in the chat who might know what. Let's see. I want. I'm going to give you an A, B, or C. The shape and
Okay.
size of the Earth. Earth is an ellipsoid or sphere with an equatorial or equatorial diameter of blank miles. A, 10,500 miles. B, 13,000 miles. Or C, 8,000 miles. So that is your first trivia question. A, B, or C.
Not a clue. I have a fifth grade education.
These are general, like these aren't. This is the
Leather
diameter
rose.
of the Earth.
Leather rose for
Equatorial
my
diameter.
indoor cats. Yeah, no. But the ones that have to go to a kennel, I have to. Yeah. But yeah, I'm right there with you. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Joe Orzel? Happy birthday, my friend. Comment below, guys. I'll put you on the door prize. I didn't mean that to rhyme, but I do it all the time. That time it was kind of more. That time was more on purpose. I'm not gonna lie. Second time. Karen, hello. How are you? I got you on the wheel. All right. Well, before we dive into it, I guess. How are you, Tala? I haven't talked to you in a couple days. I seen you in a space not too long ago.
Yeah. Just been immersed in the usual with trying to get my schedule back on track and figure out how to arrange all the pieces of everything, and that with the cat's vaccines, and which, by the way, even if you take them out on a leash and they're walking around outside, if they're off your yard in particular, yeah, there is a risk with some of these viruses. So just a note to be conscientious. It's but mine are all compromised in some way. They have immune issues because of the rhinotracheitis virus, which they can pick up like that. Most cats have it. So that's kind of occupied a lot of my world because I'm trying to make sure that they are taken care of properly. And I feel like this system that's supposed to be supporting us has taken a left turn. I even asked my vet, if they're going to do that, contact me. They didn't do it. So now it's written in my chart on each pet plus my main chart, no RNA vaccines. Contact if any of the others are changing. They should have done that in the first place. So it's a little bit frustrating, and it's like it adds this extra layer of I shouldn't have to deal with that. You know,
Right.
I've got enough on my plate, just managing my health, getting my training on track, getting back to my podcast, all those little bits. I'm very happy to say that I now have 7
Yes. Sorry.
solid subscribers on X. I'm so grateful for that. The weird one that
Nice.
I have no idea who it was
Whoa, whoa,
dropped off.
whoa, whoa. That was me, all right? You got to stop saying that.
You weirdo. No.
Stop saying that to
So
everybody.
that one that was only following me and only subscribed to that weird one, yeah, that's dropped off. I
Interesting.
still do not know what that was about. But it
Somebody
happened after the viral
infiltrating to see
post.
what you were going to say, maybe?
Yeah, I think it was somebody spying on me after the viral post I told you about. Strange. Like, who's willing to pay $4 a month to spy on someone? I mean, that's not just vindictive, it's mentally ill. But it's
Huh.
gone. So stress off. 7 subscribers, all people that I know. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys more than I can say. Um, it's good. It's I'm in a good place, even though things seem a little bit stressful and disrupted. I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Sorry to real quick. So I saw someone ask what the question is. I'm gonna try to put it
I
on
see that in the
this. Now I
crawl.
have all your options are on there now. A, B, or C. Now these are roughly. I mean, like it goes a little more specific than this, but this is pretty close to the number.
I mean, like I said, I only have a fifth grade education, but I'm thinking like 13,000. I don't know.
So again, if well, not again, I guess I haven't said this, but if you're out there and you're going to Google it, good for you. But this is for fun. If you want to take a guess at it,
So wait,
take a guess at it.
diameter is across
This is the equatorial diameter, so meaning around the
midpoint.
equator. Yeah.
But yeah, it's
So I
across,
think it's
not around.
longer. It's longer from north to south, but then it
But
is.
diameter is across. Is that what it
Yeah,
means?
the diameter would be all the way
Yeah.
across from one side to the other.
Huh.
It's an interesting one, but
Yeah, it
okay,
is.
all right. I see some
I'm probably way
people.
off, and it's 8,000.
Hey, what's up, Cullen? I mean, you never know.
I mean, also, you're not really like you're not measuring flat across because it is round, so it's point to point halfway, right?
Right,
Wouldn't that be different? Because it's curved.
right. I feel like a straight line should be
Yeah. So like
little smaller.
measuring like this is going to be different than measuring like this.
She's over here. She's got the wheels are turning. The wheels are turning. So Derek, you might want to change your answer because you said B before I put it up there, and I actually reorganized it um, in order of size
I feel
because
like it's a trick question now.
it might be. Well, I mean, I try to throw you guys off with a few different answers. We'll see. What are the choices again? It's running across the bottom of the screen. Okay.
Isn't it weird that we live on the planet and none of us know this?
Well, the diameter is a weird one because, like, if I asked you, like, how many jumbo jets would have to stand end to end to go all the way around the equator, like, that would be a pretty big number, too.
There's different sizes of jumbo jets.
Okay, so maybe how many feet or how many yards or how many feet is the equator around? That might be the next one. But this one is the diameter, the equatorial diameter. Anyway, it's pretty fun. I see a lot of
I'm
people
assuming
thinking that.
it's actually on the surface, like walking it off, not.
That would be the circumference.
Darn it.
The radius would be from the center to the outside, and the diameter would be all the way across. If I'm not
Now I'm
mistaken,
really messed up.
somebody correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, but I'm pretty darn sure I remember a couple things. A couple things seem to pop out. They seem to say, "Listen, I'm right." I'm like, "Okay, I'll tell them. I'll tell her."
Happy
It's
Earth
from the old
Day.
memory bank. Yes, happy Earth Day, Rose. I've got you on the wheel. All right,
So here's
so
what I used to do. I used to, because this was, remember I said in 2018 I stopped eating meat for like 6 years, red meat. Um,
18.
this was every year,
You
this
said
was the day.
2018. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This was the day, I cut all of that off. And so, um, normally every year I would cut out all meat, even though I had brought some back in, and I was eating fish and sometimes poultry. Normally every year I'd do, a couple of weeks vegetarian. I'm practically carnivore now, so it's not happening for the first time. Feels a little weird.
Mm. Well, and I like that you're not so strict to it that you can't throw in a few things here and there. Like
Yeah.
I saw your little snackaroo that you posted.
Which
Yeah.
one was it?
Well, okay. I guess I guess I need to
Blueberries?
look further, but this was the strawberries with the little.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't know if that was whipped cream or maybe lard. I'm not sure what
That's
you
an
put on there.
interesting one. You know what faya is, right? It's like
Um,
yogurt. Fage.
I don't know for sure.
Oh, if you've never tried it. So feta is technically a cheese, I believe, but it's like yogurt. So it's got the probiotics, but it's thicker. So I discovered that if you use Faya and you mix a little bit of heavy whipping cream and then you do just a little bit of a sweetener like a drizzle of date syrup, you now have a substitute for whipped cream that is not full of preservatives, it's not oils, it's not loaded with corn syrup, none of that stuff. It has protein, it has probiotics, and it is absolutely amazing with fruit. There's your keto hack for the day.
Rose, I am so sorry. I saw that message earlier. I definitely feel for
Mm,
you. It's kind of unusual to have like to know when and to know to have the time to say goodbye as well. So
yeah,
I mean, blessings in very small ways, but I definitely prayers out to Rose, and send out your vibes, send out your good feelings to Sister Rose. Um, yeah, she said she's got to say goodbye to her brother tomorrow.
that's hard.
Um, yeah. Well, I don't need to know. I don't, I'm not going to pry, but I hope that you can at least get some time with them, and that's all that's all you could hope for in that kind of situation.
Yeah.
Um, but on a less serious note, I did, yeah, I saw the strawberries. It looked good, but I'll have to find out what that stuff was that you were to Faya. You said,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
I'll give you the recipe. It's not hard. Like, just basically I'll give you I'll send you a DM on it. And it's rich, it's creamy, it hits that, no pun intended, sweet spot. Um, where you've got the protein and everything you need. And then obviously I haven't, given up fruit. I will eat blueberries, bananas if they're on the green side, strawberries, obviously. I'm not real, like, I don't eat a lot of fruit. Occasional pineapple for anti inflammatory, that kind of thing.
I wonder, have you looked into fruits that are, I don't know how you would word it, but fruits that haven't been tampered with, and I don't mean genetically modified. I mean all of the, it was pre-genetic modification where we actually
Heritage.
a lot of the fruits and vegetables that we eat didn't start that way. I guess like carrots weren't that. Like
Yeah.
I can't think of any other good examples off the top of my
It's
head, but
heritage. I like growing heritage stuff. I do. I look for, the vintage and heritage ones that have not been altered in any way. Yeah.
have you seen the videos of like where it's like store-bought strawberry, wild strawberry, and it's like showing you the two different
Wild
kinds, and like
strawberries are small though.
yeah, like there's like this whole different kind of the stuff that somehow we got it cultivated it to a much bigger, and not just, and I'm talking
um,
pre chemicals,
Larger,
pre.
sweeter, higher efficiency on production, like the number that you get. That's what commercial, alteration, or whatever you want to call it. That's what they do with them. And I get it. They want to make the most money, obviously, and people are going to gravitate towards sweeter because I mean that's what we're genetically designed to look for in fruit. Things like honey, they are quick energy. It's just you have to be aware that your body can't run on it long term. Yeah.
Waylon, forward that to me. I want the recipe too. Okay, we can do that. I could, or Tala could just throw it into the announcements chat. Okay.
I'll
No, I
post
did.
something in a bit.
No, but see, like that's that. We don't need to go down this path too long, but that's what's cool about the community thing. I have a whole chat that's just for like everybody that wants to just spam links and all of their shared everything. It's right there, and everybody
Yeah.
you can just search. People can scroll through it and look at. And there's a whole other chat for the planties. Um, spe- I know that gets you every
I'm
time.
having so much fun with those posts.
I do too. I think it's actually helping me get a little more into X. I'm trying to do it on both sides, but um,
You know what makes people double take, you know?
you think the words, yeah. Well,
What
I,
the
I think I think the first person like view is kind of fun too. Work in the garden. Um, I do want to get to this story because I sent it to you because I was like, what? We're talking about natural and heritage
Yeah.
versions of things, and they're talking about lab grown chocolate hits the shelves in
Wanna know about
2027.
that, like, how do they do that?
Right. Well, there is some more to read about it. I just want to the sensational part here says an Oreo, Cadbury, and Toblerone are
None of which I
already
eat, but
funding. Right. Are already funding it because or apparently a lab is cheaper than a farm,
that's right.
um,
That's
which
the
is
problem.
interesting. And you think it wouldn't because like there are so many byproducts that you can turn into profit, and a lot of farmers I guess are just not doing that. I don't
Oh,
get it, you know what I mean?
chocolate is a big process. Most people don't realize how much goes into creating it. It's not
Yeah,
easy.
probably a lot of water too.
Yeah.
This is from the Pharmacy Real, Farmacy Real. While major chocolate companies quietly fund lab grown alternatives that are set to hit shelves in 2027, they've already been replacing your favorite bars for years. Cadbury's dairy milk, quote in quotations, contains so many substitutes that it's not even legally considered chocolate in some parts of the world. Yet millions still buy it, thinking nothing has changed. The cocoa butter
People have been saying
disappeared
for years
long
they don't
ago.
taste the same.
Right. Replaced with
Yeah.
a blend of 6 industrial oils designed to mimic real chocolate's mouthfeel. Mouthfeel. Just give me the mouthfeel and I'm fine.
That
Okay?
that word kinda skeezes me out, mouthfeel.
I
Ew.
never heard it before, but now it's in my vocabulary. It's not going
Right.
anywhere.
Do they mean texture? I mean,
Mouthfeel all day. Ooh, the mouthfeel on this. Like I'm gonna go to like a restaurant or something, take a sip. Ooh, the mouthfeel on this. I'll give it a 7. What? Out of what? 17. What? Why? I don't know. It's a mouthfeel scale. Um, I lost it though. Where is it here? Oh yeah. What remains gets diluted by polyglycol and flavored with
oh,
petroleum-derived vanilla to mask the waxy taste of those oil blends. Traditional or the transition happens through small reformate or well, I'm sorry, reformulations, which is I think this is a good point to be brought up about all things and all brands. Small reformulations every few
yep.
months, which
And the
means
US is the
basically,
worst about it. We are the worst. Yeah.
yeah, and that happens with everything.
Yeah.
That's why like
I mean, okay, so let's say this becomes commonplace. You know that I do eat dark chocolate. So what would I do? Let's say worst case scenario, all the companies replace it with that garbage, right? I'm going to be buying cacao powder and making my own from there. That's it.
right, and I think to that point, there are ways to get like the real thing. I've seen
Yeah.
Rose has a chocolate shop
But
that
it'll
makes
drive the
dark
price up.
chocolate. Right. My husband
Now
refuses
you've
to
got to
buy
pay
anything.
more to, you know, if you want the real thing or if you want them to leave the garbage out, you pay more.
But see, look at this. So Lila Rose says my husband refuses to buy anything less than 75% organic chocolate. But like, what's that 25%?
Oh, 75% cacao maybe.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, maybe there's some milk
The
in there.
yeah.
Use honey. It's so much better. Yeah. No, like I think dark chocolate's a good idea. And I think I might start getting into black coffee. I don't drink coffee. I don't even have a coffee maker. But a little black, like a small cup of black coffee, I think is a healthy thing in the morning.
Yeah.
because I wouldn't be, my mom and brother and probably more of my family are just like, and I don't know if my mom can do that anymore because you can't, she can't carry the 2-gallon cup that they would carry around with
Right.
just coffee all day. I'm like, just give me a little, just give me a little cup. Um, Comment below if you're a coffee nut. All right, so before we move on, I do want to give you guys the answer. The answer to the first trivia question was, well, let me just repeat the question. What is the equatorial diameter of the Earth? And the answer was actually A, was actually 7,900 and some change. It's just under 8,000.
See, I told you it was going to be the opposite end of what I thought. I'm all
Eight,
watch. It's going to be A.
yeah, I mean 8,000 miles on the surface. Like, I don't know. I wonder what the length of America is.
Sea salt, yes. Sea
Uh,
salt chocolate is amazing. I agree. Trader Joe's, that one they have, the dark chocolate lovers bar, that thing is next level. It has like a fruity scent to it. It's wow. Yeah. 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 I have kosher salt here too.
does it come in rum flavor? Derek says. I don't know. Hey, I don't know about you and down under, Derek, but although I will
And
say I was laid over in Ireland for 8 hours once with the military, and there was a gift shop where you could get chocolates that had alcohol in them, like little kind of like chocolate covered cherries, except for chocolates with liquor inside.
yeah.
Um,
I'm
I didn't
like
try them.
I have a thing with salts, so I collect salts and I don't eat a processed diet. So being that I have autonomic dysfunction, I do have POTS, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. So I do have to put salt on my food. But I just love various natural salts anyway. So yeah, the Celtic Gray has things that you need for thyroid health. I try to get that in my system every day. But also, I buy all of these ones that are smoked, like alder smoked, oak smoked, various flavors, black salt, which is a sulfur type compound in it, all different kinds of things. But
Nice.
try to find them when they're on sale.
I use the gray salt, but I think that's just a step in that direction.
It's a good one. Yeah. And like I said, it helps with thyroid health. Yeah.
Okay, so the second question that I'm going to put up before we go to the next story is what is the equatorial circumference of the Earth? So that would be walking all the way around the Earth.
Well, see, to answer that, I'd still have to know whether the first one was visually flat or
It's
around that equator.
straight through.
Okay.
If you could go from one point from China to wherever it comes out in America, straight through
So
the Earth.
circumference is going to be more than 16,000
Circumference
then.
is going to be, yes, more than, no, more, it was more than 8,000 was the first answer.
But that's only one. You're talking about all the way around, right?
Yes,
So
8,000
it's
was
going to
the
be more than
first.
16.
I
Wait.
agree. I'm just saying that it is, the
So
first answer
messed
was
up.
8. So you
I
have
mean,
to decide how many
this would be more
times.
than this. If it's
Right.
curved, it's be more than flat.
Okay, so I'm
I
going to
think
give you 3 options.
math is not an area where I excel.
Well, it's just what came up first, so we're going with it. And I want the audience to be stimulated on this Earth Day, this fine Earth Day. Get that coffee in you and tell me how big you think the Earth is. Now you can't, you could go and cheat, but just try to guess. 66 something miles.
I
Okay.
mean, you see what I'm saying? Like, if you go halfway around something and then you straighten it out, It's like twice as.
You're not wrong.
You
So
get what I'm saying?
use that. You're getting
So
closer.
it's got to be more than 16,000 then.
Maybe, maybe
Because if
not.
this is what we were talking about, not this. I had to get visual with it because that's how I'm like it had to be tangible.
Well, don't give them all the secrets out there. We'll see what if you guess it right. I guess I don't know if anyone guessed the first one right, but I don't think anyone did.
I'm saying,
Anyway, all right. Move on to the next story. It looks like,
let's see.
or maybe we did see that at the mouth of the Mississippi River. There is a dead zone. Did we talk about this last week?
I don't remember. Doesn't sound like something that we did.
So it's all the like salts and things just washing down from all the people and all the companies and stuff. Says at the mouth of the river, of the Mississippi River, there's a dead zone, a hypoxic zone. Water so depleted of oxygen that almost nothing can survive in it. It forms every summer. At its largest measure in 2017, it covered approximately 8,776 square miles. That's more than the equatorial diameter of the Earth.
I'm going with B on this one.
Gonna go B. Okay. An area larger than New Jersey, sitting in the Gulf of Mexico, producing almost no marine life. The cause nitrogen runoff from the Corn Belt. Nitrogen runoff from the Corn Belt.
Fertilizer.
Because they use a bunch of fake gas. Well, I don't even know if I can call it fake. It is nitrogen, but it's not the kind of nitrogen. Like they have to tinker with it to get it to be what they want. And it's
I
just,
think this is part of what happened with Salton Sea.
yeah. 90 million acres of corn in the American Midwest. That's just in the
Wow.
Midwest, because I know California has corn. Required
Yeah.
synthetic nitrogen fertilizer. So it is synthetic nitrogen fertilizer produced from natural gas applied annually. The soil cannot hold all of it. Excess runs off into streams, into the Missouri, into the Mississippi, and down the Gulf, where it fertilizes algae blooms that consume the oxygen when they decompose.
Yeah.
So, if it's excess of this good thing that they needed to grow with, right? Like, could they set up some sort of a filtration system to get that thing back that's so good for so necessary for their crops? Or like, why would you think about it? Like any other scenario, we're trying to find ways to recapture the material that can be reused. So, for instance, in terms that a lot of people here would know about, with there's a certain way to make concentrated cannabis, and there are systems set up to uh, to get like you can use alcohol, concentrated alcohol, and you can use like a distillery set up to where you will get that alcohol or most of it back, if that makes any sense. But so like that's just one example where like we're trying to find ways to get to reclaim that. So in this scenario, they're just like, meh. Every year we just flush down. They pay money for that nitrogen. Like you're telling me, there's no way that they would just like, let's try to. The soil can't hold it all. So why did they spray so much then?
Well, it's just, I mean, you're growing a crop every year, so there's going to be repeat applications, right?
I guess, but like, couldn't you dial in how much the soil can absorb and stick around that level? Like
Mm.
ask fucking, Ziggy or whatever from the, from that one guy's Alexa, ask Grok or whoever, Claude or somebody, about how we can, you know,
I
make
feel
this
like it's
more
probably
efficient.
more complex, like the depth that it's at in the soil with relationship to how the plants utilize it or something like that. I don't know.
Fertilizer prices are going to go up and become scarce, I believe. Um, so, you're probably not wrong, Cullen. Although we probably, at least under Trump, would probably ramp up the natural gas side of it, the synthetic fertilizer, because we have natural gas. But the reason that fertilizer was starting to become scarce was when Russia started the war with Ukraine. Russia actually supplies a lot of fertilizer around the world, and it cut back. I want to say it was around 15%, but anyway, that made like a shortage start to occur, and now with more war, it just becomes more scarce with fertilizer. I think fish farmers and fish fertilizer can make up a huge difference. We're not utilizing enough of that.
Yeah,
There's ways to do it, but there's also other types of fertilizer that people can make, and people doing more things to be their own
that's a problem with
self-sufficient.
farming fish too, though. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, I try to get wild caught when I can, but I realize that it's a matter of, depleting resources.
Mm. Yeah, it's tough to know if we could actually not have like not have farms, or just not have livestock and somehow be able to just all wild caught. I don't think the world
Yeah.
can survive like that, really. Anyway, that's just a thought.
Too many
So,
too many people concentrated in some specific areas, but I feel like one of the biggest problems that we have in the United States is food waste. We all see it, but we're just so used to seeing it that we dismiss it. You ever hit the grocery store at a time when the grocer is out there picking the stuff off that wasn't purchased, that's spoiling, and they're not selling it? You know where that goes? The dumpster out back, which is locked.
yeah,
Nobody can use it just because it's imperfect or starting to go, you know?
I mean, that's a tough one, because I get that, but at the same time, if you were to somehow have a system where you gave that away, somebody would say they got sick.
That's the problem.
Somebody
That's
would
what
say,
started this. Yeah.
yeah, that just wouldn't work out in the long
Yeah.
term. Somebody would
See,
see
what
some
they used
dollar
to do,
signs.
McDonald's, for example, they can only keep food under the heat lamp for a certain number of minutes, and then it has to come off. They're not allowed to sell it because somebody sued them, I'm sure. What they used to do was take that to shelters, people in need. I don't know if they do that anymore because of this whole thing of stuff goes in the dumpster and it gets locked up and you're not even allowed to. If you get caught dumpster diving, they'll fine you or put you in jail or something ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But we have a hunger and homeless problem.
There has to be a middle ground where you can say, like, let me sign the waiver, and I'll eat your food, and if I get freaking sick, that's on me.
Mhm. Canned
Uh,
goods
I,
are good long past the expiration date.
right?
And if it says best by, then that's even less important. That's just it might not be as flavorful or crunchy or something.
I think some of it has to do with education on how, food preparation, food storage, food, not like can. Well, there's like a term for it, but like canning and fermenting and basically processing. Yeah, food processing. So it's just something we need to teach people, because you couldn't just hand it off. But I guess the homeless probably wouldn't care at all. They'd just be walking around eating a bale of celery, or whatever, and just like,
Mhm.
um,
Lila Rose is asking about mother plant from what specifically? You don't have to kill it.
have you ever kept a mother plant? You don't have to kill it. I haven't, but I also am not. I've had issues with pests since I
Oh,
started,
okay.
and
Got it.
there's not a lot of times when I can just keep a plant. And there's a lot of my plants that stayed, or have been here for years, but not cannabis, if that's what you're specifically talking about.
Mhm. Yeah, I think
Cannabis
that's what she
seems to like over time, like if you keep it too long, it starts to attract things. It starts to get It's like the immune system is at some point takes a hit, and it's very attractive for some reason. Super attractive.
Yeah. So your store donates to the food bank. See, that's the thing. Smaller town, I guess they're making their own laws for it. Local municipality is doing the right thing. I just wish that more places, it's probably less common in California because everybody is sue happy here.
Hmm. Which tribe? Where's that tribe? The Sioux. Sorry, just kidding. The Californian tribe will sue. No, not like there is the
That's in the
Sioux.
Dakotas.
Right. There's the Sioux, and then there's Wheel Sioux tribe, the tribe of Wheel Sioux. I'll sue, or I'll
You
sue.
got me.
Uh,
I'm looking at the
all
comments
right.
going, what?
All right. Well, we'll answer this next trivia until before we move on to this next one. The next video is a little bit graphic, so I did play it already a little bit while we were talking here. But okay, so the answer to this question was B. 25,000 miles. 25,000 miles.
At least I got that one.
So
I mean,
if you
I
were,
figured this way. You know,
go ahead.
I went halfway around on the curve, then folded it in half. It's not quite as far across. So 16 and 16 is 32. It's going to be less than that. 35 was way over. So that was
Yeah,
my process.
I should have, I should have been like 24, 25, or 26. Like that's what I should have said. Um, let's see. Oh, okay. That's not a bad one. That's not a bad one. So the next one is, what year was Earth Day founded?
I used to know that.
Now, again, I don't know why I feel like I got to say this, but people come in and out a lot through the show. You're welcome to go look it up and cheat, but this is for fun. Uh, so we're gonna say A, 1865. B, 1901. Or C, 1970. Why is that? Oh, here it is. Okay, so the next story here is actually posted or reposted from Elon Musk. It has to do with gun safety, and of course, health, wellness, and science is the name of the game on We Grow Wednesday. This is John. I forget what his name is. What's that guy's name from like 60 Minutes or no? This guy. What's his name? Shoot. He had the Stossel, John Stossel. That's it. Stossel
Not a
TV.
clue.
No. He was the guy that did a ton of interviews on either 60 Minutes or
Hmm.
something like that for
We watched
years.
that when I was growing up.
Yeah, well, now
That's a
he's
long time ago.
independent. So this
Out of
has to do
those
with.
out of those choices, I know the answer, but I'm not going to say.
Okay.
You've got one guess.
So I guess I'll leave it playing at small screen because it's a little bit it's a scene that's not real, but it is a little bit violent.
Do you carry a gun? Bad idea, says Hollywood. Countless TV shows portray good guys who try to stop crimes with their own guns as fools.
Citizen's arrest. Drop your gun.
The wise police officer sums it up.
Leave it to a good guy with a gun to really screw things up.
Liberal politicians
Mhm.
agree.
A good guy with a gun will stop the bad guys with a gun. It doesn't hold up.
It doesn't, say experts, the media feature.
Good guy with a gun statistically isn't realistic. It's an adolescent rescue fantasy.
An adolescent rescue fantasy? Now, I'm no gun person. I was raised among lefty gun haters. I assumed Hollywood and the media told the truth. But then, 17 years ago, I hired the best data
Probably gonna get hit
analyzer
by
I know.
this,
That
but
very tall guy on the
it's
left,
a good.
Maxim Love.
It's 6
You're-
minutes long, so we're not gonna watch anymore. But basically, he talks to some experts and gets some information about how many people actually uh, like. Is that a myth? Is it true? And turns out it is true that the areas where there are more people that lawfully carry firearms, there is lower crime.
Yes.
Like it is, and we can stop there because
Look at
you
all the
and I,
mass shootings in gun-free zones.
right, and we can argue all day about like the percentage of it and all this and that, but just knowing that less in places, less crime in places that have more legal guns, more crime in places that don't. Period. And yeah,
Mhm.
you and I could probably argue that it's by like a long shot, but that's where might start to lose some people. And look, go do your own research, you guys. But it is true, and I don't, I don't carry my fucking gun around with me that much, but I have shown it off a few times. I've shown it to you, haven't I, Tala? This gun here, it's always loaded, and it's always ready to go.
Rubber bands?
It doesn't shoot any rubber bands, but it does shoot, just if you know what I'm saying. Um, anyway, no, it's fun. I guess
Well,
since it's
like, I just don't have the money yet to get my concealed carry. I will be, but
yeah.
it's just money. Because you can now here. It used to be they would bury you in red tape. You were allowed if you had circumstances, but they would still bury you in red tape. They're not doing that now, not in my area. So in the meantime is if I'm legally allowed to have it, like let's say I go into the forest, cool. In my home, cool. If I gotta go somewhere that I know I can't carry, then I get the non-powder out, which is essentially paintball. So that you get rubber bullets, the little round balls, or plastic or steel. I don't like steel because you lose velocity the farther it has to go. Presumably, you're not going to use it at a distance anyway, because if you're defending yourself, it should be because you are actually threatened. But that is perfectly legal to carry and must be carried concealed, in fact. So nobody should ever assume that I'm not armed because the nicest thing I've got on me is pepper spray. That's what it boils down to. Yeah.
Well, I mean, those fists got to be lethal weapons by now. To how many
There's that.
bags have you gone through? She's hitting the bag so hard that her fist goes through the bag, even though it's a speed bag, like just.
You're not supposed to hit it hard. They
uh,
do eventually.
uh,
The bladder in those does eventually have to be
wear out.
replaced,
Yeah,
though. They will break. Yeah.
got to get an old school like ox stomach and just and they tie that up as a. It's probably where it started. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Okay, yeah, this is it's fairly interesting how you see a lot of propaganda, and there are people that don't. I took a film class in college, which doesn't make me an expert, but I look at things differently when I watch TV or movies. You know what I mean? I'm looking at what the
Yeah.
message is. I'm looking at what I'm looking at the propaganda. I'm like, does it go overboard? Does it bother me too much? Like sometimes I like if the start of a movie is just like nothing but just a bunch of like false propaganda. I'm probably not gonna watch the movie. But like there's a lot of scenarios like that, and you find yourself going, is there anything worth watching anymore? Because everything's just chock full of like agenda, agenda, agenda. And so Hollywood does that, and of course they're kind of dying, withering away. So
Mhm.
let's see, what that gets you, I guess. All right, guess well before we move on.
Man,
Uh,
I went through just a cup of coffee this morning already.
nice. Yeah, you were up early. I noticed.
Yeah.
That was I was like,
Yeah.
whoa, that's like 6 a.m. where she's at. What's going on?
And I woke up before that. It was one of those days where it was like, I'm awake, not much I can do. I did doze back off for a little bit, but yeah, I was awake very early.
Cullen, you might want to delete that, bro. He says, I think everyone should carry a blade. They can't shoot us all. You're probably going to want to take that one down.
I
Joe
mean,
Orgy, what's
yes,
up?
I suppose like which is less of a threat. I said the nicest thing I've got on me is pepper spray. Uh, I mean, I have a lot of knives.
So Joe says, love my Second Amendment, but your Fourth Amendment will be violated when data centers pop up, AI surveillance. I mean, that's probably not far off because a lot of places have cameras and AI can, just kind of like the whole in the Batman movie with the like the spying eye or whatever it's called, where they're able to like tap into all cameras in an area and like actually use like echolocation and like see things that are happening and stuff. All like that stuff is going to be real. But I think what happens is the next generation, which keeps getting smaller and smaller, which is another issue. But
Yeah.
people think, oh, but look at all the kids in the they're homeless or in the in the orphanages or whatever. Like, yes, that's a percentage of children, but that doesn't mean we don't need more. That's like two
Yeah.
different things can be true at the same time. You have too many kids that
Elon
need
keeps warning
adopting.
us about population collapse
Yeah,
potential, you
yeah,
know?
and it's an exponential thing when it starts to happen. Like it's like you can't just quickly have a bunch of babies by
Yeah, it's
mandate.
not a quick reverse.
I mean, you would like they would say like mandate babies from healthy mothers, like it would end up being like a forcible thing, but it's still like I said, like we're saying, it wouldn't just fix itself right away. It would take a while. Um, just look at China because they actually like at some point lifted their restrictions, but then they have to now have different ones because they need more girls. Now they need more girls, I guess, not more boys.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got to that
I
with
knew that was
girls, but
coming. I mean, didn't we all? They
right,
went on
like
so
you're just
long like that.
back and forth it all the time. Like, is that just is that the plan? You think? Like, okay, 100 years from now, we'll have to switch it back to like like we already
I don't
know.
think it's intentional so much as it is stupidity.
Mm.
Just like, did you not predict that that would be the end result?
I think you would need more women than men if we're talking about pure survivability of a culture. You need
I
more
think what we
women
need
than
is
men.
to let nature balance it because it does,
Well,
you
touche.
know?
Just let it happen. Like that's I agree. There was a place, I believe it was Switzerland, where they have a study that shows like when women are allowed to just do whatever they want, that they still tend to gravitate towards the more maternal skills, right?
Yeah,
Nursing
we're
and
designed for
caring.
it.
Yeah, and a lot of women want to get upset by those kind of statements because like no, we can do anything men can do, and
I'm
that's
not a
fine.
feminist.
Right, and I mean, but like I get the impulse of like, what you telling me I can't do something? I'm the, but I think there's a difference of like recognizing your strengths or what you
Yeah.
enjoy versus what you're capable of doing. You might be capable of standing there and holding a jackhammer for a couple hours or whatever, but that doesn't mean that it's going to be what you'd want to do. So anyway, we're off
Well,
on
it
a
doesn't mean
tangent,
it's
but
best suited for you either. Like I always said
true.
this, I was never equal rights is one thing. Women's lib is a whole other thing. So if you want to climb telephone poles for a living, cool, but don't make it so that I have to. You know? Like we didn't need to carve out
Right.
that kind of a niche. And look at the pushback. You know how many men will see a woman get assaulted in a video and say, well, they want to be treated like a man.
Right.
No, the majority of us really don't. And so there's this perception that all women are the stupid thing of choosing the bear. Oh, I'm so sick of hearing that. You
Right.
know,
Or that video. I think I want to say you were with on the show that day, and there's a video of the girl trying to feed the bear. I'm like, oh, come here. Like, no, this is what you
I
don't
was
want
taught
to do.
survival skills in camping when I was very young, so people like that are dumb, but I see just as many men doing that, of course. So
Wow, Lila Rose says my mom's mother had 11 kids. I wanted 10, but got 2. Yeah, I know how you feel. I want a big family as
I'm
well.
one of 2.
Why? Yeah.
And then my brother
So
had 2, I had none. So you see that narrowing down, and I'm elder Gen X like you, so yeah.
yeah, and that's the thing is a couple, if we can get any successful couples anymore, is that is able to reproduce, has to have at minimum 3 or 4 kids to actually be um, what is it, not participating, but
Hmm.
there's a word I can't think of, where you're offering, like
Well, it's
you're not
viability. I mean,
cooperating, but you're it's on the tip of my tongue with a C. You're anyway, yeah,
you know,
contributing. Got it.
oh yeah. There's the fact that there's a certain amount of mortality. Like, not all
Mhm.
children survive. Not all children survive to adulthood. Not all children survive long enough to have more children. So this whole thing of no children with so many from, Gen X forward, yeah, it becomes an exponential problem. And here we are. Yeah.
I did construction. Hold a jackhammer is the worst thing I did. Yeah, I can't imagine that there's some jobs that we can't maybe phase out as well in the long term like that. That men
Jim
have to
used to
do.
do that stuff. Yeah, it's like a rivet gun. He's got nerve damage from it
Well, and
in his
like the
hands.
pride that men have, and I guess we all have it. We all have pride in whatever it is we might think that we can be proud of. And then when someone hurts that pride, we get pretty upset. And I feel like women have it to a degree, but I guess that's probably a stronger male dominant trait. But just my guess. But the issue is men that are in those kind of trades that are dangerous or very, very hard on your body, which isn't maybe dangerous, but it's dangerous in a different way, like long term, you know? And those people, like they'll look at your hands and be like, "Oh, that's a hand of a hard working man. It's a like stained hand where you could wash it 100 times and it's still gonna be, you
Yeah.
know." And that's all well and good. And but I think there are ways to phase that kind of stuff out. I mean, we do have gloves, and we we have, there's things that we don't need to make us like. And I'm not saying you need to have dainty, smooth hands, but I don't know. You don't have to hang your worth on how beat up your body is to
Yeah, you
show
don't have to
off
do
what you did.
damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some stuff just happens.
Yeah.
Like I said, Jim used to do, he used to do not just construction, but high steel. So rivet gun, all the risks that come
Mhm.
from that. He dropped one time on the toe of his boot, which is why he hates steel toe because they had to cut the boot off his foot because it collapsed the steel toe. Just about took some toes off. He's in a press machine, crushed a finger one time. He's lucky he didn't lose that. Stuff does happen. Safety protocols were different back then too,
Mhm.
because we're a
Well,
little bit
okay.
older, or late 50s. But that there's a difference between something happened and the other side of it is, not taking the precautions that you should, wearing whatever protective gear for your hearing, your feet, your hands.
That's big. Hearing protection. I definitely didn't wear as much as I should
Yeah,
have, and now
it's
I
half
have
deaf from
tinnitus.
artillery.
Right now I have tinnitus. I am gonna start getting to the number spin here, guys. But yeah, I agree, and I'm like I'm not. I wasn't immune to this. I just think that there is a mindset that men have where it's like, oh man, if you don't have, because I think I told the story before where I ended up at after like I was out at a bar years ago when I used to go to like a local place to eat by myself. Like I would go out and eat by myself, trying to just be a little more sociable because I'm like I didn't have anybody around in the area. Uh, this is a different place I lived at, but then I ended up drinking with these people. Ended up back at their house and having a little gathering. And this one guy is like challenging everyone. Let me see your hands. Let me see your hands. You know, like I do this,
Looking for
this, and this for a
calluses.
living. Yeah, looking to for like how rough, how bad. I'm like I'm moisturized. What are you talking about? Like you know,
Right.
like
And I'm over here. I got calluses from hanging from the bar and lifting, and
right.
I'm not that dainty for a female. I'm the one taking care of the house and the yard all week. He's driving a truck. It's just the reality. Like, I don't think that anybody should feel like they have to fit a well, a stereotype. Even the expected gender role is a type of stereotype, you know. So my mother, I learned from her. She's very much a woman, but also she takes care of the yard. If my dad can't do something, she does it. She picks up a hammer and goes to work on stuff. You know, you have to be able to adapt as needed.
Joe says guy I replaced the following year was killed when a truck tire blew up. He was filling air right after the boss yelled at him, lost concentration. Wow. And then Derek,
Truck tires are dangerous, yeah.
yeah, Derek from Down Under says he did 30 years of chainsawing, like for like power lines and stuff like that, for
Wow.
trees and stuff. Yeah, and he was telling us before about how messed up he is from
Yeah.
doing all that. And
I know someone on X, one of my mutual followers, that he works with truck tires, like taking them off the rim, changing them out. It's a dangerous job. It's a very dangerous job. Yeah.
okay, we got 17 people this week participating. All kinds nine. You're number 17. Rose, you're number 16. Let me make sure that Rose didn't comment twice.
Dirt therapy. In the garden though, right? Not doing, really dangerous work. I agree. I'm weird about it. Like I've got gloves for the really icky jobs, but there's something about working with the soil on your hands. And they say you shouldn't because tetanus lives in soil and whatever else, but I don't know.
Yeah, but other good things live there too.
Yeah.
That's how like that video of that 90-year-old man who's like, I never get sick, and he's like, because I do this every day. He bends down and he just drinks out of the slop trough that the cows drink out of. Takes a
That's a
little,
little gross for me, but
yeah, pretty gross, but like I
but I
understand
agree.
what's happening. It's just not what
Yeah.
I would choose to do.
Prompt your immune system to work.
Okay,
Yeah.
would you take it if there was little capsules of that water and you could swallow it like a pill?
I'd be too grossed out.
It'd still be gross, wouldn't it? It'd be like in my stomach going. Oh, oh, oh,
Cow
oh.
sli You know what? No.
I mean, it makes it's
Saliva
got
is
all the
nasty.
whatever else is in there. I mean, it's probably got all kinds of stuff in there. I will say a different S
Saliva is
word,
nasty, and I just ate breakfast.
right? Here's to that old man and his
It
slurping of
took
the
me a long
trough.
time to get to where I would put, like the hairball medicine for cats, actually put it on my finger and let the cat lick it off my hand. Because that even is just like, okay, I need to go wash my hand now. I'm just, ugh.
Alice says, "I don't wear gloves. It's dirt therapy."
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Even pulling weeds, I just will spontaneously get started, and I'm like, should I go get the gloves? If I gotta go get the gloves, then I gotta think about it. I gotta look for those. Now I'm distracted. So if I start pulling weeds, I just do it, you know. And I get damaged sometimes, but
Yeah. And you might get scratched by something that makes you itch a little bit, but usually there's ways to, unless you're somebody that
Now,
gets
if I'm
highly
trimming the
allergic.
bougainvillea, that's a whole different. That thing is dangerous. Big thorns.
Gabe. Looks like Gabe is the winner. Guys, tag Gabe in here, although he's at work. Never mind. Um, but yeah, like who was it? Apothecary that was saying that if you have an allergy, there's an underlying issue. Because I was like, yeah, you might be severely allergic to like, you know, poison, whatever, or ivy or oak or whatever.
Oh yeah, urushiol. I'm immune to it. My brother and I both are.
Ruschiol? What is it?
Yeah,
Is that the chemical they're
that's the
making? It's
compound in poison oak and ivy.
what about poison sumac? Is that the
Same
same thing?
same thing. Yeah,
There's no the
we
all
don't react
poison
to it.
plants. You think? Hmm.
Very common in the Native American bloodline to not react to that stuff.
Well, don't overreact. Just kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a percentage of the population that does not react to it, which I'm really glad for because I've gotten into it a few times. So, my brother, when he was a scout,
Right.
used to come home and tell mom, "Don't touch the clothes." He would take it right to the washer because he'd been out playing in it.
Mm. Yeah. Wash it by itself.
That's how he got away from everybody playing ditch 'em. He'd go out in the middle of a patch and they couldn't come get him.
Oh. Yeah. Good luck later. Burp or
Had to
belch
pack him.
probably tastes pretty nasty. Of the of that water.
Oh yeah,
Back to the water, Joe.
man, I had forgotten
The
about
delay.
it.
It's the delay. The comments come out like
Don't do that
after
to
we talk
me.
about it. I got poison sumac on my ass once. Ouch. Ooh, Dolly weed. Rose, that has to be like one of the worst
Did you
places to
grab
get
the
it.
wrong leaves for?
Yeah.
I've
Well,
heard of that happening.
camping. Gotta do what you
I
gotta
knew
do when
someone
you're
who did
camping.
that.
All right, guys. I know some of you did some guessing on this question on the bottom of the screen. A little bit of Earth Day trivia. The Earth Day was actually founded in 1970. C. I know Cullen
Yep.
got that one right.
You started to say the Earth was founded. That would have been
The
better.
Earth was found in 7 days. 7 days ago. Every day, every
3
new
years
day.
after I was born, there was an Earth.
Let's see. The first Earth Day
Uh-oh,
rally
coffee
in
cup's
New York.
empty.
Oh, wow. Okay. Here's a good one.
I still want to know. I'm gonna have to research and find out what they're making lab-grown chocolate out of. That kind of freaks me out.
If you want to find it, we can definitely go
Yeah,
back
let me
to it.
check.
How many countries celebrate Earth Day?
Let's see.
How many countries celebrate Earth Day, guys? That's the next trivia. We're going to say A, 47. B, 79. Or C,
Well, this is odd. So, according to ChatGPT, lab-grown chocolate, sometimes called cultured or cell-based chocolate, isn't made from synthetic chemicals. It's made from real cocoa. That's not right either. It would be cacao. Just produced in a different way than traditional farming. So traditional chocolate normally comes from, it says cocoa beans grown on cacao trees, Theobroma cacao. Um, Farmers harvest the pods, ferment, and then dry the beans, then process them into cocoa solids and cocoa butter. Um, Lab grown chocolate skips the whole trees and instead focuses on the cells that make cocoa. Scientists take the cells from cacao plants, like from a bean or pod. These cells are placed in a controlled environment, bioreactors, They're fed nutrients, sugar, minerals, etc., so they grow and multiply. Okay, see, now you've lost me on even wanting to go there because this is what I'm talking about. This is why mRNA tech turns me completely off. You're creating something that multiplies, usually rapidly, and what is cancer?
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you.
And it's been 4 years, so or no, 6 years now. Holy cow! We have seen an increase in mortality with people that have been putting in not just the COVID, but other, um, like you're saying, the one they're trying to give you now. That's the So there's a lot of different ones now. They're doing that, and it's
Turbo
like,
cancers, we never heard
right,
of that before. That happened with this.
wow,
So the cells produce the same flavor compounds, fats, and antioxidants found in cocoa. The resulting material is processed into cocoa powder or chocolate. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's being cultured in a lab to multiply, reproduce. I
multiply.
can't with this, just no.
Well, you're gonna like this. This next one's gonna make you feel a little bit better. So again, the question is on the bottom of the screen. The Earth Day trivia is: how many countries celebrate Earth Day? A 47, B 79, or C 193.
I'm not even sure how many countries there are on the planet. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. You're gonna like this next video too. It comes from RFK Jr. from Maha Action. It's about the carnivore diet.
Actually, I had a full body MRI. So it was done this week to check my visceral fat and other things. I had a full body MRI a year ago. I went to this doctor who said my organs were covered with visceral fat. I had a BMI of 7. I had no fat on my body. And my inside, coating my heart, my liver, was visceral fat, which is just a harbor of disease.
Visceral fat.
And I had had atrial fibrillations for 4 months. His doctor said to me, he said, if you haven't had them already, you're going to have atrial fibrillations. And I'd had them for 4 months. I never told him. I had never told him that. So I went on his diet, which is a carnivore diet, with ferments, as Manette said. And he said, I can get rid of all the visceral fat within 90 days. And I took another MRI 30 days later, and I had lost 40% of it. This MRI that I took, I was down
40%.
to 1 percentile of visceral fat. This works. About half the cabinet is on this same diet right now.
Half the cabinet, he said. There's a big win for carnivore diets.
I mean, we're going to find out when we do my labs how much it's doing for me, but I mean, I'll just tell you right off the top that the biggest indicator is going to be how do you feel? Okay. So,
Right.
my pain level right now, my daily pain level, let's say, just my baseline from one day to the next is probably the lowest it's ever been. That's phenomenal. I'm going to be 59 in 6 months. I'm technically catastrophically ill. Autoimmune, neurological, autonomic dysfunction. A lot of injuries. I have hypermobility.
But you feel
So
good?
I've been
No.
through many rounds of plantar fasciitis to a very dysfunctional degree. Finally resorted to cortisone injections in my heels. 10 out of 10 would not recommend. It is brutal. It sucks in ways that I cannot describe for about 1 minute. Every time you do it, I've had two each heel. But I had to interrupt the pain cycle. This is what I had to do to get out of that. And much, much physical therapy. Years of physical therapy, you guys. So if I'm now at a point where the physical therapy is to work on some restriction in the shoulder and strengthen the muscles to support where the connective tissues are not doing their job, and I'm not going in there because I have pain to address, we've made massive progress. And this all is a change that happened, it coincided with this switch to ketovore. So my pain level's down, the fatigue is finally gone again. Um, I have days when I'm tired, but don't we all, right? But the fatigue, the chronic fatigue, which I had gotten rid of in 2019 and came back with the first round of COVID and never left. The
Hmm.
fatigue is finally gone again, right? And other than some things that I'm trying to correct on my labs, most of it looks great. My lipid panel is spectacular. My triglycerides look great. The ratio of HDL to LDL is great. Technically, it's flagged as high, but the ratio is correct. All of that just because I stopped cramming carbohydrates because we were taught eat low fat, eat grains, particularly wheat. I stopped all that nonsense. Grass fed butter, grass fed or at least US sourced beef. Okay. Um, Sometimes chicken, not so much. Fish, yes. All the dairy, cheese,
We eat
cottage
a lot
cheese,
of chicken.
all of that, you know? So, uh, Greek yogurt, occasional fruit, occasional salad. That's really about it.
When's the last time
Yeah,
you went
I'm
to a
great.
restaurant and ordered anything besides steak?
No, because like
Fish,
we had
maybe.
not. Well, I'll tell you. So several months, no meals out. We
Oh
can't
yeah,
afford it, and I can't find stuff that you know.
right.
So this last weekend, I was bored. I didn't want to cook. It's been several months. We just got part of the tax refund. I said, let's go to the Chinese buffet because I know they've got meat.
Hmm.
But I also happen to like the shrimp that's got batter on it.
Hmm.
So I got into the carbs because I was already off it for a few days. You guys, I encourage taking breaks. Okay, so on weekends I boost my carbs a little because I love my kidneys and I'm an
Right.
autoimmune patient. Got to be careful. So don't do long term ketosis. That's that's my take on it because
Mm.
I watched people damage their kidneys. Research it yourself. But
It's kind of how I feel. Go ahead.
I boosted it a little too much.
Hmm.
So the next morning I wake up and I'm like, "Ugh, I feel like I'm hungover."
Right.
Just I was like, "Oh, I'm tired.
All that
I
MSG.
slept 7 hours and I'm tired."
Yeah. You know
Yeah.
what makes me
Hard
tired
to
is depression.
Yeah.
Makes
Well,
me,
that's the other thing is my mood is no longer all over the map to
yeah.
the point that I've been taking 5-HTP. You've heard me talk about it before since about let's say up north, 1999, about then. That's a lot of years. And I had
I'm a
taken
party like it's
uh,
1999. Oh,
L-tryptophan. I had taken that before. So I've been on 5-HTP. Well, it's 2026 now. So 26, 27 years consistently. All right. I'm not now.
mm,
Literally, I'm getting whatever I need from my diet to the point where if I feel restless and I'm uncomfortable and I'm wound up and I need to sleep, then I'll take a 5-HTP so I can sleep.
mm.
But I'm not taking it every night, and I am not getting depressed. I am not anxious. I'm not having panic attacks. That's
It
what I was
probably wouldn't
taking it
last
for.
all night either. What I mean, like, does it? Do you think it lasts all night if you had to take it?
Oh yeah. Oh
Oh,
yeah.
well,
But
like,
see, before, if I was off it for 3 days, I was already having anxiety attacks again.
mm,
I'm not now.
your
This
body's
is
getting
what
more
it
used
can
to it.
do for you. I'm not saying it's for everybody, but for me, this has been life-changing. Yeah.
Food is medicine. Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. I did the carnivore diet, and I found that it was like, yeah, this seems like a good like cleanse, but I wouldn't stay on it all the time. Now you combine that with a reduction in all of the other crap, and you know, I have this fantasy, and I think maybe some other people do as well, that if we could just get everything back to real food and all that, but then you still have the problem of too many carbs. Like you could
Yeah.
say have like bread with no glyphosate, and you could like have this perfect scenario where it's all everything's all natural. You still wouldn't want to be eating cake all day. Like
Correct.
there's still that reduction of that stuff at the same time as let me dip in and out of ketosis or whatever to like help try
Yeah.
to clear that visceral fat. And I think that's real. I think that's a lot of what I have too. I think
Yeah.
either have I have parasites and visceral fat. Tala, every time I see a new video, it's something I have. I'm sure I have it.
It's probably, it's going to be fat percentage. It's going to be visceral fat. That's what I'm working on. That's what people ask, oh, are you doing this for weight loss? No, not really. Like that's not the thing. Cause like you're talking about getting on the scale or being a certain size. I could not give less of a crap about that. I am concerned with my quality of life and the longevity that comes from creating good quality of life. I am concerned with reducing symptoms and keeping my very serious life threatening illness under control. So I'm not aiming for a particular size other than I know what size I need to be in order to feel better and have that better quality of life, you know. Lila Rose was talking about marking the
I see that.
calendar for when cravings are and um, yeah, whether you even when you've had a hysterectomy, your body will still have certain cycles. Men have hormonal cycles as well,
Oh yeah,
and so
girl.
cravings will coincide. Yeah.
We do. We have our time of the month. We really do.
It's true though.
Yeah.
And
Uh,
you have what they call andropause. Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but blood does come out. Wait, what? I'm sorry. Out of my
Andropause
ear. It was in my
correlates
ear,
with
you guys.
it correlates with menopause. At a certain point, your testosterone goes crash. Yeah.
Yeah. And then even then, it's like there's a lot of things that promote testosterone that we just don't do enough of, like
Yep.
red meat. There's certain
And
veggies, like
exercise.
there's certain greens that promote testosterone.
And
Exercise,
probably time in the
cold
sun.
showers, time in the sun.
Yeah.
There's a whole list of things. Another one
Yeah.
is um, like the ice bath and stuff like that, which I haven't done
Yes.
yet. I still talk about it, but
And we ladies have a certain amount of testosterone too, and we need that.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other like anti-inflammatory benefits. Let me just read what she said. My husband told me I should mark on the calendar when I'm craving red meat because I suddenly just want to eat tons of it. After charting, it's almost always mid-month. She said. That's interesting because
Yeah.
I try to get variety. I think to myself, man, I haven't had fish in a little while. It's like I'm not craving fish, but I'll be like, I should probably get some fish just because.
Yeah.
And it's not. I'm probably still not eating enough of it. That was one
A
thing they
couple
told
times a
me from
week
the
is what you
VA.
need.
Yeah, they're like,
Yeah.
your cholesterol's high. Eat some more. Eat more fish. What? It's literally
Sardines is
it's
a
all
good
they gave.
go-to because it's a
Oh,
set amount. You've got a serving in a can, and that is high in your omega-3s and things that you need. So sardines is a great go-to. Yeah.
hmm. I don't. I've never had a sardine.
Really?
No,
Oh my goodness. Okay, so do you have Trader Joe's where you live?
I don't.
Ah,
I've got
okay.
Costco,
Well, my
I've got
recommendation
Sam's
is
Club, I've got Walmart, I've got Schnucks, and I've got Kroger's.
get the ones that are packed in water, like spring water, because for some people, the oil packed ones are a bit much, like it's already a strong fish.
A lot of
So when
oil
you add
today.
the oil, it's kind of like, yeah. And I like them on crackers, just basic crackers with a little bit of mayo. That's just my thing.
I got
Yeah.
some cans of tuna that I need to eat. I
Yep.
don't know if it's bumblebee tuna, but it's tuna. Um, all right. Yes, men definitely have a monthly. That's when they get grumpy and go into their shell. Yeah, like okay. Well, so I mean, I guess this is health related. I was in this space last night. They were There's like a men appreciation space, and the lady was talking. Elizabeth, I forget, I think her name is. We follow each other. She's from like France, I think, and she was explaining this scenario how she basically insulted the man that she was dating at her in her apartment, and
Oh,
she said whatever. like basically told him the thing that he's been studying to get a degree was pointless, and no one like it was stupid or something to that effect. And he
Wow.
just like silently went off in the bathroom for like 20 minutes, and everybody was saying, "Oh, it's kind of a bitch move, this and that." He was in his feelings, and that could be true. But also, what could be true is that he was trying to keep from blowing up as well, like the other direction, which no one was
Yeah.
bringing up. And I kept trying to come up, but I'll tell you what, Tyler, they kicked me down to listener like 5 times without letting me ever speak, and I just left. They kept letting me come back up. It was like, you know what, I'm out of here. It's like they just, I don't know.
There are some bad hosts.
There's such
There
a
just there
snooty
are.
kind of environment on some of those
Part
spaces.
of what I teach is Spaces 101 etiquette. And that's one of those things. Like I've had it happen where it's like I'm waiting and I get tossed off mic and I'm like, "Yo, you didn't get to me yet. Like why did you give me a mic if you're not willing to get to me where I can speak?" Now, if someone does that more than once, I won't go back to their space. I'm done. It once might be accidental. They might think they spoke. I'm going to cycle them out. Maybe they missed it. But if it happens more than once, I'm done. I don't play.
This is crazy. We got not one, not two, but three people just spamming the the stickers in the chat. Or Derek, he's down there with the using like a coat hanger and some tin foil trying to watch us, and he says that stuff just freezes up his screen. He probably had to leave. I try to tell him, if you're listening, Derek, all you gotta do is swipe to one side, swipe to the right, and it takes away the comments if that helps you. Okay, so the answer to this question was, so how many countries celebrate Earth Day? It's actually C, 193. I
That's more
know,
than I
Alice.
thought.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I
Wow.
think there are there's. I don't think there's 300 countries. I think there's less than 300 countries. But that
Siri,
I
how
could
many
be thinking.
countries are there?
Could be thinking of countries in NATO.
193 member countries and 2 recognized independent nations. Vatican
So
City,
for some reason
Vatican.
it says the United
Census from
Nations
Britannica.
includes 193 countries
Right.
and 2 independent. I don't
Maybe it heard
understand
me.
that.
Did it hear me speaking? Because I said United Nations at the last minute there.
Let's try this again. Hey Siri, how many countries are there on the planet?
Here's an answer from World Odometer's info.
195.
Huh.
Who are the two infidels?
The two countries that say, nah, we're not part of the.
Which two countries do not celebrate Earth Day? See what ChatGPT says. There isn't a reliable list of two countries that don't celebrate Earth Day. Earth Day is a global voluntary observance, not an official public holiday. We know that. It's marked as 190 plus countries worldwide. That's interesting. I will find out.
It's like they don't like they probably don't recognize all places as countries. Like,
It'll be some tribal, you know, we've never contacted them. Some island somewhere.
right. We've watched them, but we don't count them as a country. They're just a tribe. Okay, another question here. How much of the Earth's oceans have been explored?
Hmm. Well, that's a good question because that's a lot.
We're gonna
Most of
use
the
we're gonna
planet's
use
covered in water.
percentage, right?
It's like
Percentages.
90 something percent, isn't it?
Gotta
We
find
think of the continents as being, because we live on the continents, but the ocean covers most of the planet. It's just crazy to me, especially when you know that there's actually a fairly sizable number of humans that don't know how to swim. That to me is unconscionable.
Okay, here it is. How much of the Earth's oceans have been explored? A, 5%. B, 37%. C, 56%. Comment below. Tell me what you think.
I'm going with B.
Oh, Cullen, you and Cullen are pretty much. Cullen, I'm gonna assume that's like a answer for, or that's a B guess
Yeah,
for
because
B.
he answered before you typed it.
Right.
So he's right in there.
Okay.
I don't want to think that it's 5%. That would be tragic. But I'm gonna say there's no way it's 56 because there's a lot that we haven't. Yeah, this will be
Cullen says,
interesting.
when the comments section on Facebook become a trading card game, I come here because it just full of stickers.
Oh my gosh,
Uh, a lot of answers for
it's
B.
definitely gonna be like 2 or 3 cups of coffee today.
Okay, this next one again, RFK Jr. together with Senator Rollins, we flipped the food pyramid upside down and sent a clear message to the American people: eat real food. So we talked last week, and I keep seeing more posts from RFK, but that's all right. I mean, it's kind of important to know what's happening with our health secretary, whether or not you like him or don't like him. Um, but the thing is, last week we talked about this initiative to hospitals. But now it sounds like the same thing, but it's slightly different, talking to all people, American people, about eating real food. It's only 14 seconds long, so let's see what he says.
This year, HHS and USDA issued new dietary guidelines that put real whole food at the center of the American plate. We flipped the food pyramid upside down and sent a clear message to the American people: eat real food. This year, HHS and USDA issued.
So we know that I mean, this is kind of stuff we knew already, but they basically flipped the pyramid upside down. I don't know if it's as simple as going, oh, it's exactly opposite. Like they probably moved some things around, and it wasn't exactly just going. What?
It's not perfect yet either, of
Yeah.
course.
Well, no, and I don't think it's perfect for anybody. Any person, everybody's different. Everyone's dietary needs are different, and you just can't go by.
I just think it has a long ways to go, but it's better,
You mean
you
like a
know.
long way to go until the general idea is quote perfect
A
versus
good baseline,
right?
yeah,
Yes, that's a good way to put it.
yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Because there's gonna be people either side of that, always, and that's fine. It should be.
Let's go to the next one before I answer the question. Robert Scott Bell, start your ascent today. I'm going to have him on the podcast sometime. I've been talking to him about it. Premium nutritional supplements to support your ascent to optimal health. It's an Ascent Nutrition's mission to provide the most unique supplements and health solutions that nature has to offer. I think it has to do. I think that's his brand, maybe, or maybe he's just
What it looks like.
or maybe he's a affiliate or something. But is I think I saved it just
Could
to
be
say
like
the company name, goascentnutrients.com.
sponsor, or he could be an ambassador
Sure.
or something like that, maybe.
So we don't really have to dwell on it, but it seems like because he seems like again, everybody research your own like health influencers, but he seems like a credible doctor, although I believe he's a dentist, if I'm not mistaken. And what was that? Heard a ding.
Yeah, I heard that. What the heck? I thought it was here. Maybe it was here and it went through the
Maybe.
mic.
So yeah. Anyway, I saved that because I felt like he might have a decent brand of nutrients. I have to look into it some more, but that really doesn't belong in this list, I guess. But I guess it can. If you guys want to check it out, you can. All right. Next. So before we go to the next one, I guess, which is a raging, flaming fire of a data center. The answer to how much of the Earth's oceans have been explored is A, 5%. Only 5% of the
Oh
world's
my.
oceans have been explored. And
Well,
when they say explored, meaning like mapped and actually, like I'm sure there are people that have gone into areas that aren't considered explored.
yeah, but the surface is not exploration. That's why.
Right. That's true too. Yeah, there's like the surface is only 5%, like less than 5% of what's underneath, basically. Go ahead.
Siri, how much of the planet is covered in water? Here's an answer from worldatlas.com. So it's 71% of the Earth's surface is covered with water, which is less than I thought, but it's a lot. Uh, Considering the
That's
size of the
just the
planet.
surface. So we're talking. When you say that, it makes me think of the depth as well, but that's not what it's referring to. Just the water surface.
Yeah.
So if you can take into consideration how much
Well,
water, because we can actually go down into that water, right? When you're on
yeah.
the surface of land, you have to dig a hole in order to get down into it. But in the ocean, it's much more easily accessible. And for us to have only explored 5% of it, and then on top of that, only the surface of the planet being 70% of water, that means the percentage of easily
Very
explorable
small.
places is so much higher of water than of not water. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I mean, a lot
speaking
of
of
it
water,
is the depth is so tremendous in some areas that I mean, we still end up once we're able to go a little bit deeper with some of these exploration subs, which the really deep ones have to be unmanned, that we're still discovering new creatures whenever we do that. You know, people who've seen everything that is available information wise are like, what the heck is that thing? You know?
right? You sometimes you just don't know what to do with it at
Yeah.
first.
Makes you
Um,
wonder what else out there.
mhm.
This is why I'm into cryptozoology, and I do not for a second believe that all of these stories are not true. I don't dismiss it. You know, of course, my brother and I have a Bigfoot project. Um, I don't discount anything about Nessie and other such creatures. Hmm.
So I was going to use this, but I'm just going to read it because I we have some international viewers right now. Uh, this says the for earthquakes, the largest earthquake in U.S. history. Since we have some people watching not from the U.S., I'm just going to read it out. But was in 19 what? What do you think, Tala? Yeah, I'll give you a quick guess since you're on screen.
Quite a while back, I believe
It was in the
that
1900s. I'll give you
that
a
would
hint.
be the San Francisco one, right?
Nope, it was actually in Alaska. I'll give you that too. It was in
Uh,
1964, actually.
okay.
This is according to the Brave AI, but it says
Less
magnitude
populated area.
9.2. Right,
Okay.
9.2.
Yeah, I forgot about that one. It's just it didn't level a city like the damage done in San Francisco. Okay. Hmm.
Um, I don't see any other good trivia here from this screen, so I'm not too worried about it.
You know, part of the reason, Lila Rose, that they say, you know, oh, there can't be a Bigfoot is because they'll say, well, we haven't found any skeletal remains. But let me ask anybody who has done any hiking and camping like I have for an entire lifetime, have you ever come across any skeleton in the wild? I don't mean for like a bird or a lizard, which is even uncommon. I haven't.
Of what?
Any skeleton.
I've come across skeletons of dead
I
animals.
haven't.
I mean, of
My
people.
brother hasn't. I haven't. And so it's
They don't
it's
last long.
uncommon to begin with. And then if we're talking about an intelligent creature, yeah. So the
What was
lack
the
of that as
original?
evidence.
Sorry, what
Yeah.
was the beginning of that? Are you guys talking about Bigfoot or something?
Yeah. They say Bigfoot isn't real. So the reason that they often say that is because they say, oh, there's a lack of evidence. There's no, you know, nobody's found any skeletons. Well, I don't run across any skeletons of any type. But I know there's cougars and bears out there.
Okay, so this next question is which place produces more oxygen, the Amazon rainforest or the oceans?
I know that one.
A is Amazon. Well, you guys can just say that and do A, B, and C on that one. All right. So we got time for this one here at least. From the High Wire, it says global warming question mark. A new study tracked 20 years of satellite temperature data around more than it says around more than 6,000 AI data centers worldwide. The results are it makes more sense now reading it again. The results are something. Land around these facilities gets measurably hotter after they open, sometimes dramatically so, and that warming spreads outward for miles, affecting hundreds of millions of people who never had any say in the matter. Heat distribution disrupts soil, wildlife, and ecosystems. So, okay, we don't have to stick on this for too long because we've read too many stories about this already. But obviously, it doesn't look like that. But it is putting that kind of heat into the ground. Maybe not that kind of heat, but it's putting some heat into the ground.
It's not on fire, but still.
I could see that affecting things, especially since they keep building them so big. Like, why can't they do like we were talking about with these new designs of nuclear power plants that are small enough to fit on the back of a semi? But do that. Okay. I mean, like, think of Facebook. They have property in like every state, I'm sure. They could just put a small, like a link, like their own network of small data centers everywhere that have powerful equipment. I don't know, spread it out a little bit if that makes sense. But I don't know if that would even help in the long run.
Look at that one solar farm, which is not solar panels. It was a different thing that was out here in our deserts.
Mm-hmm.
They're having to shut that down because it was just doing a lot of damage to the ecology, which we could have told them. And it's not even like there's other issues too. From the highway, you'd be driving along and the sun hits it just right, and you're like, you know, it's not
Yeah,
far enough off the highway.
I could see that. Yeah, causing light pollution.
Yeah, I've been there. I've been past it many times.
All right, we can
You
go
know,
past that.
when you change the environment massively in an area, you're increasing the heat, you're displacing wildlife just by building something there, you're creating either shade or concentrated UV. It's going to have an effect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's why I think that's one reason that we do need to get more things off of the planet that we could put in space that where it's like so
Yeah.
cold that so many things could be done with that the cold and the low gravity or zero gravity if you're one that believes in that um, then yeah it's like that's the best place for so many things for manufacturing for data centers. There's a moon of I want to say it's one of Saturn's moons,
Mm.
but or one of the moons of one of the planets called Titan, and it's so cold there that there's a shell of ice around the planet, but they believe that there's water underneath of it that might have life. This was a long time ago that I saw
Mm.
that study, but they also talked about how that planet is so cold that if we were to ever make like sort of digitize our existence, like upload yourself into the matrix or whatever, right? You would do that on a planet like that, which is like so cold because it would allow all your data. Because people have a lot of data in our brains, believe it or not. Even though we can't access it all, we can't always like clearly get our memories pulled out of us, but we do have a lot. So there's a lot like in this brain of ours. Okay, let me try one. Let me do one more real quick here. So this was from RFK actually. President Trump and First Lady Trump's vision for foster care is one family for every one child. Currently, there are two children for every available foster family because the Biden administration was excluding an entire class of foster families due to their religious beliefs. This is unacceptable, and we are changing that. Sorry. What is this? 44 seconds. That's enough. We could.
President Trump and the First Lady, who's been extraordinary for us to work with, have said their vision is one family for one child. Right now, we have a 2-to-1 ratio. And part of the reason for that is that the Biden administration was excluding an entire class of people because of their religious beliefs. We are and told the states to actually pass laws, instructed them to pass laws refusing families who had certain religious beliefs, mainly Christian religious beliefs, not be allowed to have children. And that dramatically constricted the pool of available parents. We are changing that. President Trump.
That's a broad. He's using some broad terms. What do you think? It says some Christian religions. So are we to,
Probably Judeo-Christian, you know.
but would it be like some of the more extreme ones, like maybe that? Because I don't know I'm not familiar with what the Biden administration did with this. Like maybe it was like those kind that like
Well,
dance around a snake and wait to see who
no,
bites or
no,
whatever.
no. The
Uh,
Biden administration was opposed to Judeo-Christian standards. Look at what we had. Sorry, guys, but I'm gonna get real blunt. We had trans individuals topless, shaking their bits on the White House lawn. Now, I
geez.
don't care if you're trans or naturally a woman. You shouldn't be on the White House lawn with y'all's stuff out. It was gross, and
Yeah.
I think that was in fact on a Christian holiday like Easter or something. Now, that may be wrong. Don't quote me, but whenever it is, keep that private. Okay. And I will even be one, having lived in the Bay Area for over 6 years, to say, be LGBT, whatever you want, but that should not mean walking down the street naked, gentlemen. Put your stuff away. That has nothing to do with that. We don't want to see your bits. So, that said, if Judeo Christianity says, don't behave that way, we're going to raise a child with some standards that say, put your stuff away, then they probably were discounting the people who were trying to bring the morality level up a bit. I would not doubt it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested to know more about why, like what they at least what the on the surface what they were saying about it doing that, because like from the left, there's not many things more championed than, oh, Republicans only care about babies until after they're out of the womb, and then they don't care. It's like, well, you're trying to cut them out of the adoption options and pool. Like what? Like how can you
And,
say
and,
both those
and
things?
bottom line, what is wrong with saying, I will provide a safe, happy, healthy environment for this child with some moral standards? We need that back. I'll stand on that,
And
you
people are
know?
so afraid of like the like parents with a certain ideology, no matter which way you go, raising a kid that's going to then get that ideology. And it might happen, but for the most part, what do most kids do? Rebel against their parents. Most kids do something a little different nowadays. Now, if you have 8 kids, yeah, chances are one or two of them might follow like almost lockstep with how you do things. But if you only
Yeah.
have a couple kids, a lot of times neither one of them want to hang out with dad to do whatever it is he wants to do. Like
Yeah.
so, I guess, and that's not something that you can.
You're gonna have mixed results either way.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say maybe it's not quantifiable, but I bet you there's some like some studies done on it. But either
You
way,
know, like, I'm not Catholic, but if a Catholic family wants to adopt a child and raise it Catholic, do it. Because at least I know that they're presenting some sort of framework of morality. If it's a Jewish family, I'm not, Jim is,
hmm
we're a mixture of stuff here. Technically, he would be Messianic Jew. Whatever it is, if there's some faith framework that presents with some morality, then let them adopt, please, because we got a problem in the system, you know?
there's got to be a line though. Like if you were like, let me try to think of one that's not going to offend too many
Let's not
people.
give Jim Jones any.
No, like
Hail
who
Bob
is it?
Comet, we're gonna drink some Kool-Aid, and I get
Right.
it, but yeah,
Or like like
teaching
what if
people
like
that they should die for their
Scientologists,
leader is not moral.
like how about a controversial one like a Scientology, like what if we have an uptick in Scientology
They could be pushing it, but I
couples?
haven't researched it enough to know enough about it,
Right.
and I know that there is some radicalism there that's
Or what about those people that do dance around the snake? Like you have the people from India that do, and then there's people from America that in that Christian whatever it's a sect of
that does get
Christianity,
questionable.
like they're
Risks,
dancing around like, oh, if it bites you, you've been
yeah.
chosen or whatever.
Voodoo
I don't know what
I
happens.
voodoo might be over the line.
Yeah, like okay, the
Again,
churches
morality.
or Wicca.
Look, this
Wicca. What
country
about
is
what? Yeah, go ahead.
primarily Judeo-Christian. And so
Yeah, that
if we're
one should
talking
be
about
cut
this
out of all
country,
things. Like, how can you cut out the majority, even though it's not
yeah,
necessarily it's not that it needs to be the majority. It just happens to be.
yeah.
And there's a lot of crossover with religion, but there are some weird, like some interesting, like niche ones. Like Wicca. I had this girl when I was in the military in basic training. She's like, I claim Guam. I'm Wicca. She claims Guam. She wasn't from Guam, but she claimed Guam. That's what she would say. She was very, you know, but it's like there are some different
No,
ones kind of are
I have no
questionable.
problem with earth-based religions either. I mean, I'm traditional Native American
Sure,
myself, and
sure.
so I can't be biased against that either. And it goes back to that, and this grates on a lot of Christians, but I'll make the statement: if it harm none, that's we've heard this before. If it harm none, that's the question: is it harming anyone? You know?
Yeah, I agree. And but there are some weird ones like is it? I might be getting the place wrong. Papua New Guinea. Don't they have
Yeah.
cannibals there? Or isn't
There
there an
are still
island
some, but
somewhere?
that's a complex topic.
Like, hey, this is part of my religion.
We might go down that rabbit hole in another episode.
Yeah, right.
I've done some research.
Well, the next thing is another one again from HHS. There's a few of these here. This next one was he calls out RFK calls out Democrats, House representatives to their face for ignoring chronic disease while claiming to care about public health. Congressman was talking about the deaths from infectious disease, which are a couple thousand a year. 90% of people who die in this country die of chronic disease, and nobody's paying attention to this. So yeah, everyone's worried about like
Yeah.
infectious diseases and like, oh, the next virus and outbreak and stuff. When it really, for the most part, that stuff doesn't kill nearly as many people as chronic disease. Chronic disease,
Yeah.
like most of my
Heart
audience
disease,
has
diabetes,
something
all
like
of that.
this. Yeah, almost
Yeah.
every one of us
COPD.
listening right now has a chronic
Yeah.
disease. And
I
sometimes you could say a lot of it is our choices, right? But a lot of times our choices are manipulated and propagandized and
See, some
gamified.
of it's not though, and the problem is like when you say the words chronic disease, now everyone assumes that that means that
Mm,
you ate the wrong things and abused your body and now you have type 2 diabetes. But let's be realistic here. Autoimmune disease is also a chronic disease. And I didn't elect that. I didn't cause that. I was born with it. So
true.
the definitions, the lines have gotten blurred. Yeah.
Yeah, because some of the stuff is brought on by ourselves, but so many for so long. I guess the last 10 years, as like health became more of a topic in the country, people started to look at obese people as weak-minded and
Yeah.
bad and all sorts of other sort of negative outlooks. But honestly, it could have a lot more to do with each person's individual susceptibility to these being bombarded by all of the propaganda of the commercials and the
Yeah.
marketing,
They were taught wrong.
the chemicals that are like literally scientifically designed to keep you
Yeah.
coming back for more bites, and the food that's designed
Mm.
to just dissolve in order for you to keep eating more of it. and all these other the tricks of the trade that have been exposed in the last maybe 5 years or so that are just
Taught wrong and given the wrong provision, you know?
yeah,
Eat
well, taught wrong for sure,
a
but
lot of
that's
wheat.
also
Don't eat butter, eat margarine, you know, eat low fat. And here's all the stuff that will give you the ability to eat that way. Here's your margarine, your wheat, your low fat stuff. Plus, by the way, we're going to cram a bunch of weird things into those products for you.
wood
And
pulp.
here we are.
Hey, we need filler. Let me get some wood pulp to put in there. Like, it's edible
Yeah.
technically.
Because we need to make it cheaper
Um,
because we want our profit. Greed.
right. Colin says, well, here I don't want to skip by this this comment from Alice. She says, "You're so right, Tala." Figured that you'd like to see that. Um, Colin
Happens once
says,
in a while.
Colin says, when you add the add to scripture, you get people dancing around snakes and stuff. The church can influence a community like that. When you add to the scripture, yeah, you add a whole new.
Such a small fringe element that even does that, though.
But it's it's known enough that like it's a thing in Southern churches or whatever. There's a word. Is it a Baptist version of maybe not? I don't remember what it is, but
No, it's a whole other thing. Yeah.
I
Like
had there.
I've spent a fair amount of time around different denominations and literally never met. I think maybe I've had one person online tell me that they're in that kind of church in my entire life.
Sir Coughs a lot. What's up, man? Happy Earth Day. Cheers, brother. Happy Whaling Wednesday. I'm going to have to go. All right, Trent. Lots of work on the farm. Been here for 2 hours and 8 minutes. Hope everyone have a great afternoon. But yeah, man, you don't have to log your time, but I appreciate you hanging out, brother. Trent is a
Did
super
you let
pro.
him off the hook on that question yet?
Oh, I didn't
I know
yet.
that one.
Which produces more oxygen, the Amazon or the oceans? Amazon rainforest clearly is what I meant to say. The actual answer is, go ahead, Tala. What is it?
Oceans.
The oceans actually produce 50% of our oxygen, as where the Amazon rainforest produces 20%, and declining every day because they continue to deforestation in the
Yeah.
Amazon. I smoked a chronic. Okay, Kyle. All right, let's get to the wheel.
For you.
Yes.
It made for a good theme for the show today.
What's that for Earth
Earth
mode?
Day.
Earth Day. Yeah, I liked it too. It made well, and it lines up a lot with our theme anyway. So
Yeah.
Sir coughs a lot. I was in his chat the other day, and he was coughing a lot, and I typed in. I said, "Sir, you cough quite a bit." That's what I said.
I was
Yeah.
dying after I saw that video you posted in the tent, and then
Oh
I saw
yeah.
that one that I sent you of the guys with the
Yeah. No, I wouldn't do it like that. But in the tent is a little different. Like you're.
Yeah, what they
Although
were doing was
my eyes were
dangerous.
closed because it made your eyes kind of sting a little bit. It wasn't the most fun. A lot of people just love it, but it's like it's really a novelty thing you might do once in a while. It's not really. It doesn't get you anything more than what you would have right outside the tent smoking a doobie with your buddy. Like
Well,
it's like you're
plus
not,
it's gonna make your clothes and everything smell like that.
and maybe a little sticky with it. Just so many little things involved there. Okay, so let's type in everybody who's on the Rumble. I see Kim. I see Alice. Let's see it, ladies, with the dancing bananas. Margaret. Who else is on the Rumble? Let's see who's commented below the video. I know a few of you have. I'm getting a few people doing that each time. Margaret, Kayla, and Alice, guys, you get another extra spot on the wheel for commenting below the video. It's a permanent comment versus the live chat. It's a little different. I can't like them all, so I'll hit like button on one and move on. I can't like them more than like 5 seconds or faster than 5 seconds apart. It's crazy. Okay, who else we got? Kyle, I already got you from the YouTube, man. You get an extra spot. Oh, 9 minutes? Okay. Maybe we'll. I don't know. Is Fire in the Hole live yet? Kayla. I got you, Alice. Okay. And Tala commented earlier. Okay. Here we go. So tomorrow we have very exciting people in the boxes. I've got 2 new first timers coming on. One from Cove TV, Mr. Beans. And as you know, we have a guy named Bean already on People in the Boxes. So uh, we're gonna craft some kind of a quick segment where we pit Bean versus Beans in something. I don't know what, say like trivia, or maybe like Connect Four or something. I have a bunch of ways I can play games on the screen. We're gonna do something fun like that. But also, Miss Kristen Grubb, a new subscriber, new pro member to the community, she also wants to come on. So we've got a male and female new guest, new blood as I call it, because it's everybody that has been on the whole time um, already like kind of know each other enough now from all the stories. So it's really nice to have new people come on, and then you can be like really thrown off by the story. Like, wow, I know that sounds like Bean, but really it could be any of the 2 new people because we don't know them. Like it gives that unknown element to help us throw us off a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so tomorrow's People in the Boxes topic is current events. So things going on
A lot
around
going
us.
on.
Well, but when we say current events, we're talking about more with a personal angle. Cullen, are you still here, my dude? So, personal angle of current events, meaning things that happen to you or in your life, in your orbit. You can take it to a I saw this story of something getting bombed. You could take it to that because it's something that happened to you, and you can talk about like your experience of that, of like what your opinion is of that story. So it can be done, but for the most part, it's more about the stuff that's happened to you or you've done in the last month or so. Talking to really everybody, explaining it at the
Colin is
same
here.
time. And there's Colin. Awesome. Okay. Where's my pen? There it is. Well, congrats, Colin. And Tala, thank you once again.
Of course.
I guess if you want to leave, I can wait a few minutes. Kyle, you want to wait a few minutes for the 420? We can. I don't know why. I feel like just courtesy base. You just probably aren't going to want to see You don't want to see big clouds. You're not worried about big clouds. So
I don't care.
yeah, um,
Everybody knows that I'm an advocate for medical use anyway.
yeah. But
Don't worry about it.
there's something different about it. Like it can give people different reactions, and I don't mean you specifically, but people in general, especially people like my mom. My mom doesn't like to see me smoke, not because of the cannabis, but because she smoked cigarettes for many, many years, and that has caused her severe health
Ah,
problems. So seeing that action, in your mind, you can tell yourself, oh, that's cannabis, it's different, but you're still seeing a very, very similar thing, if that
trigger.
makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, trigger.
Yeah.
It's exactly it. It can easily be a trigger for that kind of thing. Um,
Yeah.
but it's neither here nor there with us. It's just something that I think about with people who are typically
Yeah.
doing that. Um, yeah, Alice, hang out for another 4 minutes, and I'll have a little toke with you guys, and then leave. Yeah, Tala, it's been good. I actually have some other news that doesn't really pertain to you, but I'm moving my game night to Fridays, so now I'm gonna have two nighttime shows and 3 daytime shows. So it is a little bit of a drastic change going from Sunday during the day to Friday night, but I'm
Yeah.
really excited about it. And I think most of the players, the people who come up on screen who make the game happen, most of them have said it's going to be an improvement to their schedule. So that's good news, and I kind of think it's going to could be popping on Friday nights. Game night on Friday nights could be a big thing.
I think so.
Something
It
else.
seems like with spaces, it's a popular night for spaces. I think people are wanting to unwind, so you probably could increase your traffic. Yeah,
I always thought I'd be competing with too many people, but you can't worry about that. I
just
don't
so many people though.
right, and
Yeah,
I can't even think of anything that it would directly compete with that I watch, so I'm cool with it. But the other cool thing is a local grow shop, which I did a review for yesterday. They had an event with vendors and stuff. They have this warehouse and this whole like vendor space outside the warehouse, and we're gonna have game night in person with a live in person audience, and also of course streamed live across the interwebs. But I might end up doing that every week, you guys, having an in-person game with real people, with people in person, I should say, which is like a different feel. You can do different things, make people do something, in the game that's more fun and interesting. Okay, you're in timeout, or you hit this square, you're in the baloney hole, so you have to walk over here in the circle and stand over there or whatever. You know what I mean? Like just whatever things like that. Um, it's just it's exciting because I've always wanted it to be an in-person game, and actually what I'd like to do is play game board games like when I first started the game. I thought, let's bring back classic board games. And what I did is I had my phone hanging from a phone, like a holder thing that was then hanging from the ceiling, and it was kind of like dangling. So if I bumped it, it would be like, dangling. And so the phone would be pointing down at a board game, and you would see my hands moving the pieces, and then I'd have another camera on me. And I really liked doing that, but eventually I started making games digitally. But man, I could see us getting back to just some funny like versions of
yeah.
kids games, board games, but adding like rules to it. Anyway, I'm
The
rambling.
entertainment value, yeah. I think people are looking for that. Like, even with spaces, the energy is shifting because there's so many people that just do so much angry stuff and ranting, and we're trying to make it fun again, you know?
Not gonna lie, it feels kind of weird. I feel kind of weird, Tala, that I'm about to do this in front of you. The people in spaces don't know me like that. You know what I mean? Like this is you. It's crossing over. 420 right now, you guys. Cheers. It's not 420 here, but it's 420 somewhere. Um, Drives me nuts with all the cartoons. Well, if you can just swipe over to the right, Derek. You might not have been here a little bit ago when I said that. If you swipe over, it cuts out all the chat when they start to fill up like that. Anyway, cheers, everybody. This is some delicious stuff that came from um, Pot of Gold that I got at the event yesterday or Sunday. Cheers. Now we got to get Tala to judge it, to grade it.
Now that's funny.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That was it, guys. Thanks for thanks for hanging out. Let's see. We got 13 people here. Let me see if there's anything worth reading. 16, 26 cents, 39 cents, 8 cents. No. From Ironheart Forge and Leatherworks, though. I do kind of want to read that. I'm not going to lie. Here's another one from Drive Growth HQ. If we had 100 people in here, doesn't say how much we would get, but it's enticing me. And here's another one that says Emerald Med. There was 150 people in here. It still doesn't tell me what it would give me, but that's funny. Yeah, nothing worth reading today. But we'll see you later, guys. Remember, everybody's got to eat, and we need to have a little fun while doing things in life. We got to have something. Got to have the lightened mood. So get out there and celebrate Earth Day. I'll see you all next time. Tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. Go follow Tala. Tala, I like the earrings, by the way.
Thank you. These
Kind
were
of
a gift.
You
I've
were
had
kind
them
of.
for probably 30 years.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I hope I didn't see them before and not notice them because that's.
No.
Okay, hit that like button, guys. We'll see you all tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central Time. Oh, if you would hang out for just a second, Tala, if you
Yeah.
can, until this is over. All right. Peace out, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, this is for my green thumbs in the game. Wailing the indoor farmer, check my name. Sustainability, we about to reclaim. This is how we do it, keep it in the frame. I'm Waylon the farmer, the indoor king. Living off the grid, what the city can't bring. Got my hydro setup, my LED lights. Growing all my greens, all through the night. Self-sustain, that's the mission. Growing my own, I'm not missing